Hello Internet, my name is Hazel from Hazelnuttygames and welcome to First Date with Reus. This is a first impression show where we spend a little time with the game and decide whether or not it's worth more of our time. Reus is a strategy game released recently by Abbey Games. It is an indie god game, and it's very hard to explain what it's about, so we're going to jump right in and show you. You play this game in short bursts, like you do eras. Eras come in 30 minutes, 60 minutes, 120 minutes. You start with the ability to do 30 minutes only, and you also start with a tutorial that you can do first. I highly recommend doing these tutorials. They are kind of time consuming, but they're really valuable. This game has a lot of concepts for you to swallow, but once you're on top of them all, it's really engaging. So do those first. I'm not going to show you them because they do take quite a bit of time, but if you get this game, and you should get this game, do the tutorials. Alright, so we're going to jump into a 30-minute era, and I'll show you what it's about. I'm not going to explain all of the various everything, but more so just kind of my thoughts on what it's about, what I like about it, and I like a lot of things about it. It's one of those games that you're not going to be in love with the first like 10 seconds that you play, but once you really figured it out, it gets very engaging. It's very cool. Alright, so we've got a new era's beginning. An era you simply play for X amount of time, and then depending on what you accomplished in that amount of time, you will unlock different things which you can use in eras going forward. So, if I can finish this with a desert village with X prosperity, or only one village that has certain prosperity, that'll be good. So, I'm just going to make, for this one, my goal is to make one desert tribe that is badass. I'm not even going to worry about other villages right now, for the sake of simplicity. So, this is a god game, and these are your gods. They are adorable, they have wonderful animations, and they're very useful. You can see in the bottom of the screen they have various tooltips, or various abilities, which all do have tooltips. You can flick between the various gods, they will have different abilities, you'll unlock more of them as you go forward. So, we're going to start out, we're going to make an ocean. Our adorable crabman is going to hobble his way over there, and he's going to smash us an ocean. It's very, very awesome. So, you're going to see, this is your world, you can move it around, you can spin it around. Most of the time you're going to be zoomed into about this level, and you're going to be able to see with icons underneath the ground what kind of resources that particular piece of land has. Now that we've got an ocean, we want to make a desert, so I probably didn't need an ocean. Let's take our rock giant and make a mountain, like right on here. If desert land has water underneath it, it will become desert no longer, and then your desert tribe will not be a desert tribe anymore. I accidentally made this mistake in one of my last playthroughs. I had this awesome desert village, and I thought, let's expand, let's throw an ocean down. And my desert village was not a desert anymore, it's not good. So you'll notice the giants move quite slowly. This is one of the more common complaints with the game that people have when they're first playing it. I disagree with that complaint, because I believe the giants move slowly for a reason. You'll notice that none of these abilities use resources. They all have cooldowns, but they don't use any resources. Essentially, once you can do anything you want with your giants, and the only thing that that it costs you is A, the cooldown, and secondly, the time it takes for your giant to actually get there. Because you're working within a time limit for your era, that means that that's kind of actually a resource of itself, having the giants move slowly to get around, so you have to really manage where you're keeping them and what they're doing. So we got ourselves a lovely little desert here. A tribe will settle as soon as you have some kind of resource, so I'm gonna smuck some minerals down like here, why not? And that is going to be a resource that a tribe can use. They can't eat anything, but you know, they're not too worried about it. You can't think too hard about why some of the mechanics are the way they are in this game, like story-wise. Don't worry about it, a lot of the stuff is arbitrary, but it makes sense from a mechanics point of view. So, we've got ourselves some minerals there, we now have 10 wealth, and you can see we got a little tiny nomad. He has founded a village called Hammercliff. The village names are generated off of a list of specific terms. They're not very imaginative, but they're kind of cool sometimes. Hammercliff is a little desert village. They have, you can see, access to 10 wealth and not much else. So they're going to hang out and do their own thing there. I am going to throw a mountain on the other side of them. Why not? You can, all of these various giants can create one kind of terrain, and using that you can terraform the whole world if you want. You don't have to terraform the whole world, but you can really do whatever you like. In a typical area, you're probably going to want to have a couple villages going. For simplicity, I'm just going to do the one here, and also because I'm not good at this game yet. I've only spent about an hour or two with it, so my multitasking and micromanaging of various villages at the same time, not so good. Not so good at all. Alright. After a village has kind of existed for a little while, it is going to start a project, and that means, oh, we've already done it. They want a tool shop. So this is up here in the top right. This is a piece of the UI that it's confusing when you first look at it, and the tutorial walks you all through it. There's also an excellent wiki that is linked on the menu page of the game, and it's also available at, I believe, wiki.reusgame.com. That explains all of that. But you can see, you have certain objectives. Once those objectives have been completed, then your project will finish. You can see you have 2 numbers here on your resources here. So I have a maximum of 20 wealth that this village can have right now. I've achieved 10 of them. That number will slowly climb up to 20. The farther apart those 2 numbers are, for example, if this was 11 and 50, that the 11 would be rising much higher. But regardless, it is still going to hit that 20 at some point. So I already have more than enough potential wealth for the wealth and use to happen, but my technology is not very good. So if I click on my village, you can see the span of it. It's not very big. There are space units in this game called patches, which highlight when you click on them. So you can see right there, this is a patch, there's nothing on it. I'm going to add something that's going to give some technology. Let's go for a herb. Herbs make plants, they give technology. If I click on my quartz that I planted, that was the mineral that I plunked down. It has, every resource has a symbiosis, which means that if you place it in next or within range of a certain other resource, you're going to get bonuses. You need to be using these in order to maximize your potential later, in order to complete certain developments. It just has to happen. So my swamp giant, he's muddled on over here. He's planting that herb for me. And that herb has given me a maximum of 5, which is good. It's not great. I need more than 5. I need, I believe, 15. Correct. So let's see here. What can I do? You can also use upgrade. Your monsters will have Your giants have abilities to not only create resources, but they can also upgrade them with various different aspects. If this isn't making sense, that's because you don't have this game yet and you're not doing the tutorial. What makes this game so cool is because your space is so limited, you have to be very careful with what you place and how you upgrade it. It's a strategy game, but it actually turns out to be kind of puzzle-like, but it's also not like super intense and brain-hurting. So this I can upgrade with a leaf aspect to give it more tech, or a toxic aspect will also do that. It'll turn my little withered shrub into a cactus. If I want to turn it into agave or agave, I have no idea how to pronounce that at all, then I need a growth aspect or a fruit aspect. That'll give it food. So I want the tech, so I need to upgrade that with either lesser leaf or lesser toxic. My lesser toxic is locked. Yes it is. I need a swamp ambassador. I'll talk about those in a minute. So I'm going to look for a lesser leaf aspect, which my forest giant can do. So I'm going to have him cast that on my shrub. He's going to meander his way over here, and he's going to make that happen. While we're doing that, we're going to plant some more herbs, because you know what? We got more room. You'll see that over the icon that appears in your mouse when you're trying to place something, it will show you either a red X, a exclamation mark in a yellow triangle, or nothing. If it's nothing, there is no good reason for you to not plant it there. If it's an exclamation mark, it's either going to replace something else or be out of range of your village, and if it's a red X, you just plain can't do it. So we want to do it right here, because that's apparently still in range of our village. Good. So we've now upgraded that shrub. We've added a leaf aspect, so we can now transmute it into a cactus, which is going to increase our wealth quite a bit. Between that and our new, we're a little tiny bit short of the maximum technology. We still have 5 minutes left to achieve that goal for the tool shop to create. And with the tool shop, it's got a specialization as well, which is kind of a village bonus. It means you get extra wealth and tech for every mineral. So adding extra minerals is going to really help us out here. Is there any way I can upgrade my minerals to get them to give me tech? You can give them food. Tech for each non-salt mineral. So there are things that I can do to achieve that goal. I don't understand them. There are a lot of very complicated interactions between various resources and projects and all sorts of things. This game looks really simple at first, but it's very deep once you get into it, and there's a lot of replayability. I've heard of people playing this game for hundreds and hundreds of hours, and I can see why. There's a ton of stuff to unlock from achieving different developments. Lots of stuff to do. We're going to upgrade use our forest giant to upgrade our other withered shrub. Get that into a cactus as well, and we're probably going to plant one more herb, because you know what, we're boring. This is probably not the most efficient way. I'm just kind of demonstrating how you can add more tech. So that brought our tech total up to 18, so that's going to slowly hit that goal. No problems whatsoever, and this will help. So now we're at 23. The prosperity is a score that a village has, which is the sum of its overall resources. So this is 20, it's got 20 wealth right now and 12 food, so it's got 32 prosperity. Raising its overall resources will raise the prosperity. We had a goal of having a desert village with a ton of prosperity. I don't remember how much, but that was our goal, and that's something that we really want to achieve. So we're just going to focus on this village and try to improve it as best we can. You have on the upper left-hand corner, you have a score, which is the overall prosperity on your entire world. You have your remaining time. We've got 20 minutes left here. And then you have a little bar that will fill up with as you get prosperity. That bar is going to fill up. When it reaches the maximum, another nomad will roam the planet, which will allow you to settle another village. I'm not going to do that. We're not going to worry about that right now. So we finish our tool shop, which means that we got an ambassador. Ambassadors are upgrades to your giants, and this is a desert ambassador. So he can upgrade. You do not have to match him like their swamp and forest ambassadors, but you do not have to match them to any particular giants. Each giant will get a different benefit from certain ambassadors. So my ocean giant has nothing that will unlock with him. He needs forest or swamp ambassadors, so he's fine. My forest giant, if I give him the desert ambassador, I will be able to upgrade certain animals to give them food in danger. That's interesting. That's something I'm going to think about. If I give him to my rock giant, he is going to let me upgrade a mineral to get more wealth. Very straightforward. Might do that. And if I give him to my swamp giant, then I can upgrade an animal. Let's do that, because animals are fun. So we're going to give that desert ambassador to my swamp giant. We're going to upgrade the ability of predator aspect. Now, we're all building on just desert terrain right here, so all these abilities are just doing one specific thing. If I use that in a forest or a swamp or in ocean, it would do something different. There are so many different possibilities of things that you can create, and they all have different symbioses. That's a really hard word to say, and different resources that they give. You want to be very careful that you don't progress your village too quickly or it will get greedy. You can see in the village thing, there's some little smiley faces. That red one is a greedy red face. If you get too many of those, your humans turn into cunts, pardon my language, and they will start to attack other villages. They'll eventually start to attack you, the giants. If they kill a giant, your game's over. It sucks. Don't do it. Don't even go there. You'll notice that the time limit can be a little restricted. We're already at only 13 minutes left. Their free play mode, you can play for an unlimited amount of time, do whatever you want. It's a sandbox mode, but you're not going to unlock developments, and you're not going to unlock any new features playing that mode. It's really just for fun, but it is available there for you. Alright, we only have 45 seconds left of this game. We've managed to get our overall prosperity with some slightly careful, not really all that careful, resource placement up to about 160, not too greedy. They did not murder me and my giants, which is wonderful. And also some of my thoughts on this game. The art style and the pacing and the music make it actually really relaxing despite how thought-invoking it is. It takes some concentration, but it's something that you could play while listening to a podcast once you're kind of into it and used to it. Probably not watching a show, because you generally want to keep an eye on stuff that's going on. It is timed, but I imagine if you're doing like a 2-hour session, then yeah, you could probably watch something at the same time. Humans are awful creatures in this game, which I think is pretty accurate. Sometimes you just need to smite them down with like a big mountain, which is actually really fun. There's a ton of information available to help get you started with this game, and once you're starting, it is super engaging. It's available for about $10, I believe 10 euros. Don't quote me on the international prices. You can look them up. It is available on Steam. I'll throw a link in the description for the Steam page. It is on sale for the summer sale, I believe, but even at full price, it's very much worth it. Wonderful game. Really nice, relaxing single-player puzzle. It's cute, it's fun, it's good. It's so good. Look at all this wasteland. You can do so much more, so many more complex things than I showed you right here. This is the very beginning, and because achieving different developments will unlock so many various things, there is a lot I mentioned before, but tons of replayability. It's a wonderful game. I highly recommend it, and yes, that is indeed what's going on. The idea of First Aid With is if you really want a second date and you thought it went well, then vote below and I will do more content on this game if there's enough interest in it. If you thought this was good just as its own video and you'd like to see other games tried out for first dates, please suggest those games down below. Reus was actually a suggestion to me by a commenter. Thank you very much for that. It was great. I love it. It's time for the planet to sleep again. So these are all the things that I did. I completed an arrow with a completed upgraded project, which has got me that. I finished it with 150 prosperity with plants and minerals. There's a ton of different developments. There are 69 of them available, I believe. You may unlock more of them to unlock after that. No idea. This is the first impressions. I have not played the whole game. I did my desert village and I had chosen people. I have advanced to level 2, which unlocks more projects. Various projects have even more specializations and more possibilities. So many possibilities you don't understand. Get this game. You're wonderful. Unless you don't like strategy games or city building. But it's wonderful. Thank you so much for watching. Please remember to subscribe if you didn't already do that. I do more first dates, I do Let's Plays, I do World of Warcraft guides. It's all a good time on my channel. Follow me on Facebook and Twitter. I do fun stuff there. I'm a generally fun person. And I'll see you next time. Bye!